to Ms. Krsitalina Georgieva, Managing Director and President of the IMF. We are happy for your motherland, Bulgaria, to have won its natives as at this very high and prestigious rank. I want to introduce this part of my speech by the words of George Akerlof and Robert G. Schiller about the preferences they have written in. A common precept of standard economics is that people reveal what makes them better off their choices. Such an assumption, of course, is exactly at odds with our concept of the difference between what people really want, what is good for them, and what they think they want, their monkey or the shoulders taste. And in Tamazight, our mother tongue, Eini Vaivki, Igvdin Feitis. Miss Georgieva, there is no doubt that you are well informed about what had happened, is happening, and will happen under uncertainty in Algeria. In 2017, we had sent a letter to the president of the IMF, Christine Lagarde, according to greater openness and clarity by the IMF and other commitments. We ask you for the disclosure of all the agreements signed between the IMF and the Algerian state. Before dealing with some of the subjects linked to Algeria, I want to say that the ceteris paribus, or business as usual, reasoning used economics, are petrifying. Also, by reference to Paul Krugman, Maurice Obstfeld, and Mark Meritz, and their scholar book in the curriculum of the University of Montreal, International Economics, Theory and Policy, the Western theories about capitalism cannot be applied to the third world countries. In addition to, recently, and in concern of what is happening in France, Joseph Stiglitz has said that trickle-down theory doesn't even work in this country. In winter 2015, we did a basic analysis on the impacts of the devaluation of the Algerian money, and we tackled the PPP, the Public-Private Partnership. Less than 4 years after, we think that our conclusion is right, and we are expecting that a hyperinflation will occur. The Algerian so-called law 5149 refers to the PPP has produced disasters because the adverse selection and moral hazard theory had been implemented without any study, evaluation, and legal barriers. It has produced not only a financial havoc, but also a social destruction. After cutting corners and quick trials, huge monetary amounts in billions are paid to some of the culprits. In these trials, no attempt to reveal the money laundering and the flows through the capital dividend account had been at least sketched. Besides, they have revealed the lack of justice in Algeria and its transfer to the markets with the theory of, for example, Robert Nozick, which supports the correct rules. Meanwhile, the Algerian and North African people need the fair result, justice as developed by the eminent John Rawls, which is conform to the Algerian and Amazigh spirit. With the Algerian monetary policy, the devaluation of the dinar is speeding up the decreasing of the Algerian international money stock. So, I suggest to putting it right now and under the most tightened currency board regime. Might be the Algerian people could avoid hating the insolvency war, near which there is a very deep and large hole. Also, even if Alan Melcher is died, we think that his doctrine of not helping failed states and sending them to bankruptcy is used, while we prefer sharing the inefficient proposition of Anne Kruger, which consists in the judgment by a court of such state. The Algerian state is stranded. It has to face the trilemma triangle of Robert Mundell and Marcus Fleming thrice. The first in the public fiscal and monetary policies, the second in the population poverty which is struggling for a better welfare, and the third is the peace and security of the whole region. It's the same model. We have just to change the labels of the vertices. As a conclusion, we are ready to bet that your next statement about Algeria will look like the last one about Ukraine. We call all the North African people to be closer each other, to build peace, to make cooperation more positive and to being offensive. Thank you à mes compatriotes de Wagnoun. Prenez soin de ma patrie et protégez-la. Dans quelques jours, la commémoration, c'est la commémoration du départ de Russie. Je vous invite à vous joindre à ma prière pour lui et ses semblables, afin que Dieu, le miséricordieux, les installe dans son paradis. Pour moi, il y a une raison additionnelle. Merci beaucoup.